All right, guys, it looks like things are going to open up pretty nasty. You know, we're still pretty early into the pre-market session, but things are not looking good. Okay, we are gapping down, and it's funny. Well, it's not funny. I don't mean that at all, actually. But we had after hours on Friday shoot up over. It was over 1%, is what I saw. Coming off of some, lip service, really, is what I wanted to come and say. I decided to really take some time with the family this weekend, to be completely honest. Like, it's a mess out there, but I mean, also, it's the exact price action that I've been warning about. Call it calling or warning, whatever. I've been saying this is coming for a long time. As soon as we stalled out of the ripper of a market that we were in, okay, well, we stopped doing that and we went into a sideways consolidation period, and then things started to happen. And I've been saying if we lose the daily, weekly, and monthly, things get nasty. Well, we are looking to be doing exactly that. I think pre-market is, let's just look at futures here. Yeah, we're losing it all here, guys. Okay, so look, I'm not going to beat around the bush. This looks nasty, and what you must do is not get overly emotional. This is a difficult time, okay? Look, anyone can make money in an uptrend. And a good, clean, doesn't break previous swing low uptrend is free money, guys, period. It's free money. And that is coming again. You should know that. That is coming again, okay? The markets are typically trending up, and they hold structure and print money, okay? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look, I'm being dead serious, okay? So this is what we need to wait for, is really what I want to say in today's video, okay? But I need to caution you about trying to call bottom, okay? Because, people try to do it on Friday. We're gapping down. Like, guys, this is a solidified downtrend, and the markets do this on average every 18 months, okay? 16 times in the last 25 years. Like, this happens. It was expected, I just have to say, but like, listen, let it happen. Don't try to catch this falling knife. Wait for a capitulation signal. No, this wasn't it on Friday. Okay. None of that happens, and none of that comes from one day is the point that I want to make. So anyone just trying to just nail the bottom here, I would just say you don't have to do that. Okay. Now, investing, I'm talking about swing trading, 3 days to 3 months before the next earnings report on the companies you're buying. Okay. But 3 days to 3 months is 97% of what I talk about on this channel. Okay. I'll talk a little bit about, look, wait for capitulation. Okay. Extreme fear capitulation, signal and invest. I made that very, very easy. TomTool.app. Okay. I made a tool that tracks RSI 30 triggers weekly, RSI 30 on the best companies, blue chips, the best companies and ETFs in the world, okay? No brainer, press buy. There's a tool that shows you what doing that since 2000, what the return look. There's a simulator, okay? Go in there, make it realistic for your money, okay? And see what happens when you do this, okay? Investing is easy. So I don't want to spend time on that. Just wait for RSI weekly 30 triggers on the best companies in the world. You'll do well. Just historical fact, data fact, okay? But swing trading here, guys, we don't need to nail the bottom, okay? Here's the reason, because if we're going to enter a new bull cycle or an uptrend, like, the definition of trend is there's multiple entry points, okay? So what you're gonna need to wait for, if you're gonna fuck with me, is a change in character, okay, that confirms. I like it to get back above all major moving averages, but technically that's right here. Okay, why? Because we change character, we make a new swing high, we take out previous swing high and make a higher low and then push back up through it. That's your trigger, okay? And look at what it goes into, and do yourself a service. If you haven't watched my last 4 or 5 videos where I've talked about this every single time, go watch one of those, okay? Or go open the charts and like, look at this. When character changes, we change character and confirm. Look at the trend that it puts us into here every single time we come out of these corrective markets, okay? It's what we need to wait for right here. Change of character confirms, look, higher highs, higher lows, like trend for years, free money, okay? Like, if you get yourself chopped up not waiting for that because you gotta force it, that's on you, all right? So I would suggest against that. We are in a downtrend, okay? Until that changes, I don't know why you're swing trading to the upside, unless like you're one of the like very, very, very few people that can name pick and outsmart against the trend of the market. Like, guys, it's already hard enough to do what we do. All right. Don't go against the frickin' market as well. Come on. Like, these are things you know. These are things you know. Okay. Wait for the changing character that confirms. I'll tell you when. But what I'm telling you right now is it ain't right now. Okay. So I am still trading downside of price action. I am still treating any pops as a lower high threat. Okay. Just like what happened last week. Okay. We came into the market last week. Everyone was saying, oh, it's over. Taco trade, blah, 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 blah. Okay. We pop up a 2-day up sequence. Lower high roll. Okay, we're in a downtrend. Okay, so pop-ups need to be looked at first as a lower high threat. Don't call bottom until we make a higher low. I'm sorry, a recent higher high. Okay, I'll draw it. I've done this a million times recently, but I won't stop doing it because this is it. I'm telling you what to wait for. Okay, and if you do, you will make money. So what do we have? Swing high. Okay, higher high. Higher low, back through the area. At least wait for that. But really, what's best is let the first one happen, okay? Like, without that, so like you don't buy the first up day without any of that happening, okay? Because you might be buying the next fake out in a sequence of 3 months of fake outs that we've been getting, okay? So why are you gonna do that? Don't cut yourself up, okay? Not have any money or have a bunch of damage that you have to crawl back up through before you can even start making money when we get into the next uptrend, right? Like, guys, just fucking wait for what I'm telling you to wait for if you want to trade upside price action. Okay, if you want to be a swing trader to the upside, wait for an uptrend. But anyways, my point is, like, you don't have to get this first one, okay? Because if it is going to be a new cycle to the upside, they come over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, okay? They come for a while, and there's a lot of money to be made, especially in the leaders that are also trending, holding structure, growing revenues, okay? All the stuff that we usually talk about that we will get back to talking about, but the room I'm reading right now says don't talk about that shit because it ain't happening, all right? So what I am still looking at is the threat of a lower high on any pops, lower high threat, name of the game right now. If that happens, okay, it's gonna look very similar to what we had last year, all right? When I shorted the market pretty heavily, for me, heavily last year, okay? So right now we're in this move, okay? If we pop up, what if we just do this? Triple R to the downside, right there. Bing, bang, bing, bang. Take that puppy down, okay? I am in a short. I've gotten eaten up a little bit by Theta. Looks like this guy's 67.15. Down here right now. I might have to punch out of this thing, which is quite frustrating. You get this with options sometimes, right? Like, I think there's still room to the downside in this trade, but it took a little bit longer than I was hoping it would. It hasn't been an elevator down, at least just yet. We kind of chopped all over the place, and I got eaten up by Theta a little bit, so I'm not going to reach the potential of where I thought this. I was honestly expecting to make 100 to 200% on this trade, and that's very unlikely to happen. I might give it a little bit of room today, but the reason why I think I'm probably going to just punch out is because I do expect another up sequence, another relief rally, whatever you want to call it. I do expect that to come, maybe even this week, right? But I don't have enough time on this contract to wait for another time for it to pop up and roll, right? So, like, if we gap down on this thing today, I don't know what I'm going to be up, maybe 20, 30, 40%, something like that. It is what it is. I did want more out of this trade. This was my vehicle for what I've been preaching for weeks and maybe months on this channel. As I said, it took a little bit longer. Maybe I should have got a bit longer dated contract. But I did actually think this guy was going to crack a couple weeks ago, but it didn't. It is what it is. As I said, the markets have kind of taken their time and might just be entering the elevator here today. What are we doing here? SPY overnight session is at 642, right down here. Yeah, nothing crazy. But look, let's get into the rest of the analysis. Guys, that's the point, okay? I made the point, like, we're in a downtrend. If you're not comfortable trading downside of price action, buying puts, then sit it out until we enter a new uptrend. okay, and look for a time to invest. I'll talk about it when it's here. It ain't here yet, okay? Qs looks nasty as well. I want to run through the ETS because this was another signal that I've been talking about at least for 2 weeks now. That like all of our rotation sectors we lost, okay? We lost them all, okay? The markets look nasty right now. The only thing that's up is energy, and that's obvious why that's happening, okay? Like, guys, we've lost everything, okay? I don't need to go through every single one of these things. If you want my list of ETFs, ask. But look, guys, this is nasty. All right, real estate tried to rotate up, cracked, gone. Okay, financials has been leading us down. That's been a problem that I've been talking about for a while. Retail was trying to hold up, cracked, gone. All right, healthcare was a defensive rotation sector early on in the sideways range we've been in, the balance we were in the market since like October. Well, real estate was holding up really well because it was one of the original defensive and rotation sectors. All right, we've lost it, guys. That's not happening anymore. Consumer staples, look at this. Okay, like the markets are correcting. All right, so don't be a fucking hero and say today's the bottom because you read a tweet. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. That's good advice. Okay, you know what? I'll cut it there, guys. This is nasty. All right, boot campers, guys, I'll be around. Y'all know what's up. Always reach out to me. If you're feeling jumpy, do make sure you take what I said seriously and reach out to me, okay? If you need someone to talk to, that's the whole point of what this mentorship is, and use it, okay? You know, some of you guys are, and yeah, just want to keep saying that. Like, hit me up, guys. I'm here for you. If you need someone to talk to, if you're feeling jumpy, don't force it to the upside yet, guys. It's not time, all right? I know y'all know, but it doesn't always mean that we do what we know, okay? The markets have a funny way of getting us to act outside of the plan, all right? So make a plan, stick to it, talk to me if you need to. All right, guys, stay safe. Time to make money is, it's here if you're willing to go downside. I would say wait for another relief rally, a little pop up, and then we'll take that puppy down if it fails below the 200. So I would say you should be positioned into shorts right now. Things you guys know, but you should be positioned right now. Wait for the next pop up, lower high. If that happens, then we'll take the next leg down, and then chill out on the longs right now, guys. Chill out on the longs. You don't have to be a hero. Stay safe, manage your risks. Let's go make some money. I'll see you soon.